My mother used to say to me, Judy, do you have to do this? You're getting arrested, you're getting mugshot, you're getting fingerprinted. And I said, Mother, I have to do this because there's always that question. If you were accused of being a Christian, would there be enough evidence to convict you? I said, I've been mugshot, I've been fingerprinted, I've been publicly mocked. I said, there's evidence, and thank God there's evidence. So we did our rescues because Jean and I have lived by Psalm 139, rescue those being led to the slaughter. And that's what we were doing in the rescues. So let's cut to the day of the story of the baby.
We take you now to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, when we're doing a rescue. And this police officer was a captain. He had a young woman with him, and he said, Sir, you're going to have to break your ranks because this woman has a procedure to be done here today. She has an appointment, and you are hindering her. And I said, all due respect, officer, no babies will be killed here today. This center is closed. He said, well, you know you're going to be subject to arrest. Well, he was right. We got arrested. But this girl turned to me and she swore at me up and down. She says, I'm going to have an abortion. And I said, that may be, but it's not going to be here and it's not going to be today. That was the last I ever saw her. I thought we were doing a rescue in Cherry Hill.
New Jersey.
And this was hysterical. I never laughed so hard in my life. Here we are, a bunch of Christians. Couldn't hide or flee if you wanted to. And they called the SWAT
team.
SWAT team came down. Full regalia.
They had their shields, they had their batons, they had on their hard helmets, and like, what were we doing? I think we were singing hymns and we were praying, praising God, and we had on our armor. Our warfare was not carnal, but mighty to the tearing down of the strongholds of the enemy, right, honey? And there they were.
I'm obviously having some trouble here.
That's okay, go ahead.
Anyway, they sent out the SWAT team, and the ABC, NBC, CBS showed up with their trucks and their high broadcasting towers, and they're photographing this, taping all this for the evening news. And little did we know they were putting it on a noon news, because about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, there's only maybe 100 of us left. There was about 300 people there that day. There was about 100
And they
left.
were making the arrests already.
Oh, yeah, they were wiping us out. And this woman comes walking up to me. She had a baby in her hands, and she said, you know, at first I thought, she just here one of the protesters and brought her child with her. That happened a lot. But she said, I saw on the news that your organization was here today, and I was hoping you might be here because I wanted to see you and apologize to you. This is the baby that I was going to abort. That was it.
She asked Jean, let me help you while you're taking care of your eyes and your nose. She asked Jean if he'd like to hold the baby. And he said, oh, that would be lovely. And she let him hold the baby, and she said, I have her because of you. And I thank you so much. You saved her life. And she said, I'm very glad that this all turned out the way it did. And wanted you to see her and know what you had accomplished. And I wasn't with him that day. I was very ill. I was at home. And when he came home and he told me, he said, that one child holding that little life in my arms was worth every single rescue that we've ever done. Every time we've been put in jail, every time we've gone with no food for a whole day or whatever, because we would be fasting and praying, and sometimes we didn't get to eat. We'd have breakfast at 5 o'clock in the morning, and you didn't get your next meal till 8:30, 9 o'clock that night. So it was always a day of fasting and prayer. But that little baby was worth it all.